So here we have an RCA CR-91A from the early 1950s. This set has been recapped, a few resistors replaced, new power transformer installed, and some general cleanup and tidy up of the set. But the alignment has not been touched yet, so I'm just going to check the IF alignment, see how it's performing just as it was when it arrived here. To do this, I've got an HP 8601A sweep generator coupled to an H6000 digital marker generator and a TEC 604 monitor. At the moment I've got the sweep generator set to a fixed frequency of 735 kilohertz, which is the IF, nominal IF of this set. I don't know if that's the actual crystal frequency of the set, I haven't checked that. So it's set to nominal IF. I've got a modulation on the 1 kilohertz tone, which you can now hear. The swept output of the oscillator is connected to the grid of the mixer tube in the set, and the sweep of the signal generator is connected to the X input of the monitor, and the Y input of the monitor is connected through this little connection box here to the diode load in the receiver. And this little box has got a pot in there and a resistor and some capacitors that help to filter out the IF signal and to limit some of the ringing that you get with the crystal filter. So there we go. I'll just turn the tone off and we'll start sweeping. So at the moment there's 5 selectivity positions on the CR-91A. The first 2 positions, the broad and the next position down, the crystal filter is not in use, and in the other 3 positions the crystal filter is in a circuit. So in the broad position the IF transformers are overcoupled, so it broadens the response, and the next position there's sort of regular coupling, so it's a sort of normal fairly sharp response, and then the other 3 positions the crystal's in circuit, and it can be sharpened up between those three positions. So at the moment it's on the broad position, and I'm just turning the crystal phasing control, which is still in circuit even when the crystal is switched out, so you can flatten the response quite a bit. Get a very broad response. Or it can be sharpened. And I think the IF is a little bit out, just by judging by this. The peak should be somewhere in the middle of the screen. Switch to the next position down. And that's sharpened it up quite a bit, which is what it should do. The sweep speed is fairly slow, partly because the persistence on this monitor is not that great. If you speed it up, it does improve the visuals, but it does affect the response quite a bit, especially when the crystal's in place. I'll leave it about there. Seems to be better for the camera. So I'll just switch now into the first crystal position. And adjust the. You see some ringing at the top of the curve now. That is the crystal. And as I adjust the crystal phasing, you see the shape of the curve change. It's a very sharp curve. too sharp on this particular setting. And you can see there's a little dip in front of the main peak, and that can be quite useful to null out an adjacent carrier. Check on the next position. Significant difference in amplitude there. Let's turn up the signal a bit to the Y input of the monitor. Yeah, it's not a very good response curve there. I'll check the sharpest position. Yeah, that's not good. So the crystal is definitely not adjusted correctly. I'll try changing the frequency a little bit, see if that improves things. Not greatly. It peaks, but it's not the ideal crystal response curve, so definitely some adjustment. Let's go back onto the broad setting again. Position number 2. And I'll just put some markers on there. This marker generator generates 5 markers. So this one should be near the center of the curve when I switch it in. You can see it moving around there. This marker generator actually generates sort of lines rather than marks, which isn't that good. And if it needs some sort of adjustment or what, I don't know. But you can see all 5 markers on the curve there. That's the marker at the center frequency or thereabouts. The frequency of the marker is actually marked on there. So I changed the frequency a little bit earlier. So that's the center frequency. Up to the nominal IF frequency of 735 kilohertz. Started sweeping again. Put the markers back on. Slow it down a little bit. So that marker is at 735.1. Next marker down, say 2 kilohertz down, 733. Next marker down, put at say 731. It's this marker here. Marker put at 737. And the last marker, say 739. So you can see the 5 markers on the curve there. It's just a sort of a qualitative assessment. It's not quantitative at all on this display. But it gives an idea of the linearity of the sweep and what the IF response curve looks like. All right, I'll make another video once I've adjusted the IF.